22 से ज्वाइन कर रहा हूँ।
हाँ ठीक है। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं कर्वावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। Hari Om and welcome to today's Satsang. We are studying Tattvabodha and I shall chant the Mangalacharan. Vasudevendra Yogendram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Bhidhiyate. Hari Om. Bhagwan Adi Sankrachharya, after prostrating to his Lord and Guru, out of great compassion for all of us, has given us this text, Tattvabodha, wherein he has stated very first in the beginning what is Nitya Nitya Vivek, Nitya Vastavekam Brahma, Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. Other than Brahman, everything else is anitya. Only Brahman is nitya. And what is Tattva Vivek? Tattva Vivek is Atma Satyam Tad Anyat Sarvam Mithyati. Other than Atma, everything else is Mithya. Now, after that, we studied what is Atma, what is the Sarup of Atma, and it is a witness of all the three states of consciousness. And thereafter we studied how the creation has taken place and how we, the Vyashti, are the same as the Samashti. So, Evam Pinda Brahmande Yorekyam Sambhutam. There is identity, oneness between microcosm and macrocosm. We have studied all that. And thereafter, there was a question that how is that we who are so different from him, how can they be alike? That too was answered, that it is the understanding, literal meaning and the implied meaning. The Vachyartha is referring to the Sthul Sharir, Suksham Sharir, Karan Sharir, and the Lakshartha is the meaning that you are that only one Brahman which is Nitya, or that Atma which alone is. That is the implied meaning of I, and that is the implied meaning of Tat also, that. Tat Tvam Asi, both imply the same thing in terms of literal meaning. You have made yourself small by limiting yourself to this body, mind, intellect, and you have made God big by giving him the powers of being all pervasive, Sarvjnani and all that. Right? Now last time what we did was, who is a man of realization? I shall spend a little bit of time, though we have done it, because this was not captured on the... So the first verse in that on page 109 is Evam cha Vedant Vakyahi Sadguru Updeshena cha Sarveshvapi Bhuteshu Yesham Brahma Buddhir Utpanna Te Jivan Muktaha Ityarthaha. It is said that he is a Jivan Mukt who sees all, who has Brahma Buddhi, in whom this Brahma Buddhi has taken birth. Brahma Buddhi Utpanna, which is, we discussed last time, I am Brahman, Aham Brahma Asmi, one who has this Buddhi and starts seeing himself in all beings. Sarveshvapi Bhuteshu. In all beings he sees himself, this Brahman only. And how has this come about? It has come about with studying the Vedanta Vakya and Guru Updesh. So, coupled these two things have blessed us with Brahma Buddhi, which we see in all. Right? So, we'll skip the reading, except that we'll say, I'll read this last paragraph of this verse on page 110. When the student listens, especially a qualified one. So, when we say by listening to a guru you realize, it is said that you listen, especially a qualified one, sadhan chatushta sampanna, to the words of a Sadguru. And who is this Sadguru? Who is well versed in the scriptures, Shrotriya, and well versed in the truth, Brahmnisht. He realizes the truth. So these words are important. Shrotriya when we use, it means something. Brahmnisht we use, it means another thing. Shrotriya is just well versed in the Vedas. Brahmnisht is the one who is realized as well. He realizes that student who has heard such a Sadguru, he realizes that the self in him is a self in all. Mad Atma Sarva Bhut Atma. And that all is truth alone. Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma. That I am the infinite reality. Aham Brahma Asmi. Such a person is called Jivan Mukta, one liberated while living. Right? The other term is Videha Mukti, one who attains liberation on dropping the body. Jivan Mukti is one who attains liberation while living. Then what are they correct? He says Nanu Jivan Mukta Kaha. Then who is known as a Jivan Mukt? So he says Yatha Dehoham Purushoham Brahmanoham Shudroham Asmi iti Dृढ़ निश्चय तथा नाहम ब्रह्मणः न शूद्रः न पुरुषः किंतु असंगाः सच्चिदानंद स्वरूपाः प्रकाश स्वरूपाः सर्वंतर्यामी चिदाकाश स्वरूपो अस्मि इति दृढ़ निश्चय स्वरूपो अपरोक्ष ज्ञानवान जीवन मुक्तः. That person who is a Jivan Mukt, who believes with the same firmness as a mortal. What does a mortal firmly believe in? That I am this body, I am a male, I am a female, I am a Brahman, I am a Kshatriya, and so forth. With the same firmness, a Jivan Mukt believes he is neither a Brahman nor a Shudra nor a male or a female, but he is unattached, asangaha. And what is he then? What is his Swarup? His Swarup is Satchidanand Swarup. He is Prakash Roop, Sarvantaryami, Chidakash Swarup. This is what he truly is. He knows that. Right? Then we discussed all these things. What is Satchidanand Swarup? Page 113. The self is ever existent, the witness of all and infinite. What is Prakash Swarup? The self is the knowledge principle that illumines all thoughts. This is very important to understand what it means. And I pointed out, Sage Uddalak asked his son, Sweta Ketu, when he returned from the Gurukul, do you know of that, knowing which you know everything? So that is that Prakash Swarup. You know that, then he is the Prakashak of all. You know everything because of that Prakash Swarup. If this is not clear, you can ask what it means. Sarvantaryami, the liberated one knows that the self in me is the self in all. So when he is in all, it becomes Sarvantaryami. Same thing. Chidakasha, self is all pervading. The self pervades even space. So we have said the subtler you become, the more pervasive you get. So Chidakash is the most pervasive, and it pervades even the space. It's beyond space as well. Then knowledge is of three types. Pratyaksh Gyan, which is through the senses. Paroksh Gyan, which is obtained by indirect knowledge, reading books, being told that look, there is heaven somewhere. That is all Paroksh Gyan. Now, what is Aparoksh Gyan, which is not far off? Because you have put a negative in front. So Aparoksh Gyan is one which is immediate and known. But this is not Pratyaksh. But it is you yourself are that. So it is that which is neither direct nor indirect. It is an object, it is not of an object which is neither either near or far. It is that which is neither direct nor indirect, as it is not of an object which is either near or far. It is not about an object, it is about you. The knowledge of the subject I is always immediate. I know I am. I don't have to be told. I don't have to ask somebody, do I exist? You know you exist, you know you are. Even in a dark space, even if put anywhere in space, you know I am. Then, what is the purpose of this knowledge? What do I gain from it? This is explained as follows. Brahmeva Aham Asmi iti aparoksh jnanena nikhil karma bandh vinirmukta syat. By the immediate knowledge of I am Brahma alone, one becomes free from the bondage of all karmas. So why is this important? Because it is the karmas that lead to their fruition. I do something, I suffer the consequences. So our birth and death is a cycle because of karma janit. I do now, I sow the seeds for tomorrow. They fructify tomorrow, I take birth. Then I again live out the consequences of those karmas. So karma, so long they exist, your cycle of birth and death will go on. So with this knowledge, you put an end to all karmas. The next chapter we are reading today is that. Is it clear? Why does that happen? Why do karmas finish? Because when you become one with Brahman, then you are in that space of akarta abhokta. Brahman doesn't do anything. Mere witness. And not even as a witness that look, I have to surrender and see. We allude, he is a witness. But he is nothing in fact. Don't take nothing in the literal sense, nothing in the sense that we understand, no doer, no enjoyer. So, when we become in that state of akarta, abhokta, so whatever we do will not create any results. Understood? So now we are coming to the next topic. Actions and freedom from bondage in actions, which is what he said, what is the result of becoming a knower that I am Brahman. There are three types of actions, there are three types of results of action. They are karmani kati vidhani santiti chet agami sanchit prarabdh bhedena Trividhani santi. If it is asked, iti chet, if it is asked, how many kinds of karma are there? Karmani kati vidhani santi. If one were to ask such a question, then the answer is, there are three kinds of karma. Agami, which means, we'll read what is Agami. Agami, Sanchit and Prarabdha. These are the Trividhani, these are the three kinds of karmas, or which give rise to these three type of results. Can we live without actions? Even to keep the body alive, one has to act. Man performs countless actions from birth to death. Each action produces results. The various actions are categorized into three, depending upon the result that one gets from them at different periods of time. They are Agami, Sanchit and Prarabdha. Each of them is explained as follows. Can you just give me a second? Sorry. So, this was what this verse was about. We will read about Agami Karma. Any question on that? What we have just read or discussed? Agami Karma. Jnanotpatya anantaram jnani deha kritam punya pap rupam karma yad asti tad agami iti abhidhiyate. I have broken it while chanting. So, the results of actions, good or bad, performed by our body of the realized soul, Jnani, after the dawn of knowledge, are known as Agami. Jnanotpatya anantaram. So, after the dawn of knowledge, when the Jnani is the one who is realized, after the dawn of knowledge, the Jnani Deha Kritam, whatever is done by the Deha of that Jnani, very important. Punya Pap Rupam Karma, whether they are of the nature of Pap or Punya, Yad Asti Tad Agami Itya Abhidhiyate. They are known as Agami Karma. Now we are talking of, we said how does this thing operate? We are talking of a person who is realized. This Agami is the action done by him after he is realized, but this is also in case of others as well. What you do now is your Agami. It will bring fruits in future. But in case of a Jnani, since he is not aware of what he is not doing from a Karta Bhokta, so there is no Pap Punya to him. But actions का Pap Punya होगा. किसी को अच्छा लगेगा, किसी को बुरा लगेगा. एब्सोल्यूट टर्म्स में कुछ किसी को डांट देना, किसी प्रकार की हिंसा हो जाना, ऑल दोज थिंग्स, उनका कुछ पाप पुण्य होगा कर्मों का, बट उसको नहीं आएगा, बिकॉज ही इज डूइंग इट इन अ कर्ता भोक्ता सिचुएशन. इज इट मेकिंग सेंस? When what you sow today, you reap tomorrow. The results of what you do today comes as agami karma in the future. This is true for all. The results may come either in the next instant or after a few years or in a future life. The results get drawn to the performer of the action. It may appear that one acts while the other enjoys or suffers the results, but the doer alone becomes the enjoyer and sufferer of the results. It may appear that one acts while the other enjoys or suffers the results, but the doer alone becomes the enjoyer and sufferer of the results. It may appear in any way, but is the doer who is getting the consequences of his actions. Animals too are identified with the body but perform actions with a sense of doership. They have no choice in action but act. Animals too are identified with the body but perform actions without a sense of doership. I read it with. They have no choice in action but act according to instincts as programmed by the nature of God. So they are, वो जो उनको कहते हैं केवल भोग आयतनम, वो जो उनको जीवन मिला है केवल भोगने के लिए मिला है. जब भोगने के लिए मिलता है तो जो आपने पूर्व कर्म करे हैं, गुड, बैड और अगली, वो केवल एग्जॉस्ट हो रहे हैं. यू आर नॉट एडिंग टू देम. आगामी नहीं क्रिएट हो रहे. एनिमल, अच्छा, दे हैव नो चॉइस. Man having identified with the body acts with a sense of doership and has a choice in actions. He may do, may not do, or do otherwise. Kartum sakyam akartum sakyam anyatha va kartum sakyam. So he has a choice to do or not to do. A wise man not being identified with his body has no sense of doership, yet may appear to be performing actions through his body. As far as he is concerned, he is the pure self, free from actions. Any questions? Okay? The result of actions depend upon the intentions behind the actions. Very important. आपका भाव क्या है? And if you see in the criminal law, the intention is important to nail a murderer. Otherwise, it is culpable homicide. You may kill somebody, but if there is no intention, it is not murder. Similarly, all actions you do, they are dependent upon the intention behind those actions. Good actions result in merit, punya, and bad and demerit, pap. Those which result in sorrow, tension, regret or guilt are pap karmas. If you want to know what are pap karmas, then they result in sorrow, tension, regret or guilt. While those that give joy, feeling of inner fulfillment and self-congratulation are called punya karmas. Actions which spring from a concern and love for others and is one's own duty are meritorious actions, punya karmas. Those which spring from selfish motives and are prohibited are sins, pap karmas. Sometimes it is difficult to determine exactly what constitutes meritorious actions or sins or duties. Sometimes it is difficult to determine exactly what constitutes meritorious actions or sins, duties or prohibited actions. One must always be alert and perform only good actions if one wishes to live peacefully, but as far as a wise man is concerned, there are no good or bad actions for him as he has no sense of doership. ठीक है. अब हम लोग जो डूअरशिप से कर रहे हैं, हम तो सफ़र करेंगे गुड और बैड रिजल्ट्स ऑफ आवर एक्शंस, बट जो रियलाइज्ड पर्सन है उसके जो भी एक्शंस हैं वो गुड हैं या बैड हैं, उनका रिजल्ट कहाँ जाएगा? रिजल्ट तो होगा, बट सिंस ही इज़ अ ज्ञानी एंड इज लिबरेटेड फ्रॉम द बॉन्डेज ऑफ कर्मा, सो इट इज सेड दैट दोज हु हैव द्वेष टुवर्ड्स अ ज्ञानी, they reap his पाप कर्मस. जो उसके पाप कर्मों का एक्शन है, रिजल्ट है, वो उन को चला जाता है जो उनसे द्वेष रखते हैं, और उनके जो पुण्य कर्म का रिजल्ट है वो उनको चला जाता है जो उनसे ब्लेसिंग्स लेते हैं, ग्रेस लेते हैं और उनके सेवा में रहते हैं. सो ये एक महापुरुषों के सानिध्य का रिजल्ट है. उनकी सेवा में आपको उनका पुण्य मिलेगा और उनकी जो है निंदा करने में उनका जो उनसे गलती हो जाए वो आपको उसका रिजल्ट आपको मिलेगा. सो बी वेरी वेरी केयरफुल. कोई भी संत महापुरुष के पास किसी प्रकार से नेगेटिव थॉट्स ना आए. दिस इज अ कैवियत. संचित कर्म. संचित कर्म किम? अनंत कोटि जन्मानम बीज भूतम सत यत कर्म जातम पूर्व अर्जितम तिष्ठति तत् संचित कर्म नेयम. सो सत संचित कर्म नेयम. नो दोज टू बी संचित कर्म. व्हाट आर दे? पूर्व अर्जितम तिष्ठति, दैट रिमेन after having collected from the past. Yat karm jatam, and that which result in actions. Anant koti janmanam bij bhutam sat. For several years, for several lives, past lives, you are collecting karmas in their seed form. And they are capable of giving results in future. These are your collected karmas. Sanchit. पहले हमने आगामी करा था. Agami is those that we are doing now and they'll give results in future. Sanchit are those that we have done over several past lives. They are in our kitty. So, how they are doled out and all that we'll also read now. But basically, Sanchit is a collected karma. The result of actions performed in all previous births, which are in seed form and giving rise to endless crores of birth in future, are called Sanchit, accumulated karma. The word Sanchit comes from the verbal root chi, which means to collect, Sanchita, that which is well collected. So chi is the root which means to collect, san is the prefix which means doing it well. So well collected. The individual Jeev from beginningless time has taken innumerable births in various bodies, besides the human body, in which he exhausts his stock of karmas but does not create any new karmas. वो जो अभी भोगायतनम है ना, जो भोग जन्म है, like of animals and so forth, वहाँ you only exhaust what you have done in the past. You don't collect. It is only in the human form that you also collect. But in human birth, he not only exhausts but also creates new karmas. Similarly, if you get birth as a devta or a celestial being, there also you exhaust only. You don't create new ones. Therefore, liberation is possible only in human birth, not even as a devta. You may get rewarded for good deeds of this earth by being a celestial being after you depart, but you will have to again come back. Because Sanchit Karma doesn't get exhausted. These actions done in the present, which get accumulated to our account, are to be enjoyed in future births, are called Sanchit Karmas. Each one of us already has a very good capital of karma and we are constantly adding to it. This capital is enough to give us endless births in various bodies. If a man learns the knack of performing right actions with the right attitude, he would be able to exhaust his karmas without creating new ones for future enjoyment. Even if he collects karmas, he should be careful to collect only those which give him happiness in the future and take him to higher realms. Any question? Fine?
Yeah.
Anilji? Okay. So we'll stop here over. We have completed this. Prarabdha karma, which we have to live out in our current life. We have done the Agami, which will give results in future. Sanchit, which we have collected over the past. Prarabdha, what we are now undergoing. That we will study what they are tomorrow morning. Right? If no questions, then I'll do the concluding prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. May the Lord's blessings be with us and may we reach our destination. Hari Om.